Four lead changes in the fourth quarter. The last word belonging to Carson Beck, making the biggest play of his life on 2nd and goal with 24 seconds left. Makes a touchdown run to give the Canes the win, 31-27. Carson Beck in this game was 23 of 37, 268 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and Miami heading home to play for a national championship in their home stadium. Back here with Beanie Wells and Adam Brenneman, and what a game that was. Your instant reaction to what we saw, 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter, Beanie.
You know, it was a dominant performance by Miami. Even though we had the 4 lead changes, they controlled this game from start to finish, controlled the time of possession. They won the rushing battle. They obviously had a bunch of turnovers and did have some issues to where they let Ole Miss creep back in this thing, but boy, did their running game and their defensive front come to play today, and that was the catalyst that got them over the hump in this football game.
Man, games like this are why we love college football. It's why college football is the greatest sport in the world, and it's stories like Carson Beck. I mean, he was counted out. Georgia didn't even want him anymore. Everyone doubted him. We doubted him in pregame meetings, and then he goes out and performs like that. And in the most critical moments, I mean, there were some 3rd down and longs that he converted. A great one on 3rd down and long to Marion he converted to keep that drive alive, and then the game-winning moment runs the ball in himself. What an amazing moment for Carson Beck to lead his team to a national championship game.
And Trinidad Chambliss had a chance, last chance for Ole Miss, deep to the end zone for Dejon Stribling. Did you think that kind of looked like pass interference on Miami?
I think it was a good no call, just given that the ball was almost out of the end zone. I mean, in that play, Trinidad Chambliss has to give his guys a better chance of making a play on the football. If you throw it out of the back of the end zone, refs aren't going to call that pass interference. And you don't give your guys a chance for a tip drill in the end zone. The number one key is give your guys a chance right there. And they had an opportunity throwing the ball from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and I thought it was definitely pass interference, but a great no call by the refs and letting them play, especially with that ball being over his head. I always say for quarterbacks in that situation, gives you guys a chance. Make it a jump ball. Make it a 50-50 ball. Don't throw it out the back of the end zone to where, you know, that thing is not going to be able to be accessible to the guys there.
One of the big storylines in this game was the amount of penalties Miami had. 10 penalties for 74 yards. I mean, you want to talk about a team that makes mistakes, and this has been one of their narratives all season long, making mistakes. This is a game, if they lost, you go, well, you can't take penalties, can't have targeting, can't have pass interference, can't have late hits. Like, it's undisciplined, and I would almost go as far as they're fortunate to get out of Arizona with a win here.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, with the penalties that they had at critical moments, they have to be more disciplined if they're going to win a championship. We all know that. We know they're talented enough on both sides of the ball. They have the playmakers. Mario Cristobal has been doing a fantastic job calling a game plan for these guys, but they have to be more disciplined. And in the championship matchup, you better believe the refs are going to be looking at everything, so the details are going to matter. You can't have those late hits. You can't have those offsides penalties that you had, because that will cost you versus a team like Indiana that doesn't make mistakes, that doesn't beat themselves.
Yeah, those penalties are a big deal because given how Miami dominated this game, I mean, 41 minutes in time of possession, they should have won by a lot more than 4 points. And even there were opportunities for Miami to have turnovers. I mean, there were interceptions, 3 or 4 of them from Trinidad Chambliss in the hands of Miami's defensive backs that were dropped. There were a lot of opportunities for Miami to put this game away a lot sooner than they did. But again, credit the Miami coaching staff, credit Carson Beck for still finding a way to battle back and win this game despite some of those penalties.
We saw the big play from Ole Miss, right? Kewan Lacey in the second quarter, career-long 73-yard touchdown run to make it a 7-3 game. He gets injured on that play. They don't have him for the rest of the first half. He's banged up. How much do you think that impacted? He did come back in the second half, but not having their workhorse back certainly impacted Ole Miss rest of way.
He was sorely missed, and obviously Ole Miss did a good job getting the ball out of their hands quick, but nonetheless, when you can't turn around and hand the ball off to a guy like Kewan Lacey that can hit big plays on a consistent basis, you're going to be handicapped, because now it was all on the arms and legs of Trinidad Chambliss, and that's not how they got there. They got here being a balanced football team on the offensive end, and having him at your disposal certainly helped you in the way that you were able to call plays. And there was a lot of times there in that second half to where he was back there, but he was just essentially a decoy the entire time with the play action pass. You certainly needed him. You certainly missed him. I thought they should have ran their backup running back a little bit more to take some of the pressure off of the offense.
Yeah, to that point, I mean, after Lacey got hurt, the next running back had just 10 yards rushing on the day. So there was really no consistent run game after Lacey got banged up. He was still in there, but was involved in pass blocking more than running the football, and they lost that piece of explosiveness on their offense. Ultimately put their quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, in a tough position where often they were in third down and long. I mean, Ole Miss was 2 of 10 on third down in this game. That's the story. You have Miami, who was 10 of 19 on third down, was able to convert because they ran the football well, and then Ole Miss 2 of 10 because they didn't have that run game in the second half.
Yeah, and the run game for Miami was great. Marty Brown and then our guy, Mark Fletcher Jr. I mean, the run that he's on, Beanie, right now, like, let me just run you through this. Texas A&M first round, 172 yards rushing. Next game against Ohio State, 90 yards rushing, 133 in this game. They have the two-headed monster. Mark Fletcher Jr. was awesome in this game.
Oh, he was. It was sensational. And we talked about it last week, me and Emery, and we said he's on that 1997 Terrell Davis run where he got hot in the playoffs, and there was nothing you can do to stop him. That's the run game right now for the Miami Hurricanes with Mark Fletcher Jr. He's so dominant. He's always keeping his legs churning. He's never going down at that first sign of contact, always getting those extra yards. When it's blocked for 2, he's getting you 4, 5, and 6 yards. Dominant performance on the ground by Miami.
Yeah, Miami didn't just rack up yards on the ground. I mean, you see the 191 rushing yards right there. They wore out this Ole Miss defense. They pounded the rock, averaged about 5 yards a carry, and were able to really dominate time of possession in this game. They ran the ball 51 times. In coaching, we used to have a 40 rush rule. If you ran the ball 40 times, you usually win the game. That's a good sign. When you're running the ball that much, 51 rushes really wore down the front seven of Ole Miss.
All right, so you're Miami now, and you're heading home to play for a national championship. No team has ever played for a national championship in their home stadium. Sure, teams have played in their home state in a national championship, but they have never played in a home stadium. You're going to go home, and they're going to have a lot of fans there, Beanie. Miami Hurricanes are going to have a ton of fans there.
Will they?
It seats more than 65,000. So, look, this is a team that a lot of people didn't think they belonged, and now wins over Texas A&M, Ohio State, and Ole Miss to get to the Natty. How have they changed your perception?
I mean, they're a dominant football team, and obviously we knew that they can play in spurts, but now they're being consistent. They're being consistent the way that they go out and play and approach the game on a week-to-week basis. And, you know, I said it to start the game, I thought Miami was talented enough to win a national championship, and they certainly proved that today, but it's going to be a matter if they can play clean football and not beat themselves versus a team in Indiana, like I said before, who doesn't make mistakes. But Miami's certainly good enough. They check every single box that you want out of a football team, outside of that discipline factor.
I mean, just think about the run Miami went on to get here. I mean, the playoff run of beating Texas A&M, beating Ohio State, now beating an Ole Miss team that just dominated Georgia. I mean, they probably had the toughest path in the playoff to get to the national championship game, and they did it. So, to me, Miami has showed us they're not just a flashy team. They are physical. They dominate the line of scrimmage, and I think they're going to match up very well with whoever wins the Big Ten matchup on Friday.
And I think they changed the brand of football in which they've been playing. You know, before to start the season, they were a dink and dunk team, pushing the ball downfield consistently with Carson Beck. We knew that they had that flash with Malachi Toney. Now they reverted it back to the old style of Miami football. We're going to play great defense. We're going to force turnovers, but we're going to be a dominant run-first football team on the offensive end, and that's been the formula that's got them to this point.
This is Miami's 7th win against a ranked team this season, most in school history, and they are a double-digit seed. Like, eventually, when we continue in this playoff field, perhaps it will get expanded. I believe one day it will get expanded. We're going to be talking perhaps about multiple double-digit seeds, right? Miami, maybe not looking like a Cinderella, but they're the double-digit seed getting to the Natty.
It's crazy to think when Miami made the college football playoff, the final 12 seeding, I mean, I was shocked when I saw Miami making the playoff, right? We all kind of counted them out. The odds had them not making it. They had Notre Dame getting in. And Miami sneaks in the playoff and then goes on this run. And I can't say enough how much it will speak to Carson Beck's legacy in college football. The fact that he's been able to go on this run these last 3 games in the playoff and play really clean football, put the team on his back, and in the most critical moment, that drive that we saw at the end of the game, that was the biggest drive of Carson Beck's career. And he converted third downs, he pushed the ball down the field, and ultimately, despite the odds, ran the ball himself to win the game.
For me, this answers the questions that everybody had about Mario Cristobal. If he can get this team over the hump, we knew he can go out and recruit the talent and get the talent there to South Florida, but could he put it all together and get this team to the promised land, and that being to a national championship? Now, obviously, the ultimate goal is to win it, but I most certainly think that question has been answered on if he is a quality head coach. Look, he got these guys back to national prominence and have them fighting for a chance to win a national championship.
And there's always been questions about Mario Cristobal and how he manages the end-of-game moments.
Yep. 2023.
Exactly. I mean,
take a knee.
They're